Poor souls. Well, I hope you're sitting down for this reading, because you want the truth, what's really happening to you, what's happening to me, and that's what you want to know. You want to know what's behind all of this. So we're pulling back the curtain to find out what's actually went on. So everything that's went done to you in the shadows, every lie told is going to come out in these cards. It's all coming to light. Everybody can see what's going on, right? So if you felt something wasn't right, something was off for a long, long time, people being funny around you and stuff, and you couldn't put a finger on it. So this reading is going to give you the answers to this. So welcome back to Spilling the Beans channel. So I'm happy that you found the way to this channel. So I think you've been pulled to this channel for a reason, you know. Spirit's pulled you here for a reason, but only take what resonates with you and leave the rest behind. Right, so we've got the first card. Oh, wow. So you've got a lot of deceit there. Deceit and lies and cheating and theft and scheming. But it might not apply to everybody, you know, so it might not apply to your specific situation, and that's okay if it doesn't. So don't worry about that. So it's a Seven of Swords we've got. Oh, it's all about deception. Things being done behind your back. People lurking about in the sidelines, you know, in the shadows and stuff. You knew something was off. Your intuition was tapping in. Something ain't right here, you were saying. They're not who they say they are. These people are not who they say they are. That's what you were saying to yourself. That's what you were saying. And you've been told, oh, you're overthinking and all the rest of it. But your gut was right. The whole entire time your gut was right. It was more than one person for some of you, you know. It wasn't accidental. It's like it's been orchestrated. So somebody's been behind the scenes making sure that your life's been like constant chaos, you know, like a storm all the time, you know. But you started putting some pieces together. So when you maybe say, no, I noticed this, something's not right here, and this has been created on purpose, you may be saying to yourself. But the people were getting nervous, you know, they started to get nervous. They wanted you to be stuck in sort of in confusion, you know, and sort of inconsistent energy. They wanted to keep the power over you. So when the minute you started speaking up, so that's when the backstabbing and stuff started. So we've got the card of grief and loss as well. It's like heartbroken. I mean, there was a situation that hurt you, you know, a lot. You invested in people, invested in relationships, invested your time and energy and everything. You invested it into something you thought was real. And you thought the person you confided in was your safe space. But they were actually a part of the problem, okay? So you were grieving the people you thought you knew, you know. Your trust got shattered in this. Your trust was shattered completely. And you had to endure it. You sat in it for a wee while, you know, trying to give people the benefit of the doubt, because you're that type of person, because you're kind people, you know. But you warned somebody about this. You went to a person that you trusted and you says, I'm noticing this, I'm noticing that, and pay attention, but they wouldn't pay attention. And they betrayed you. They pretended to listen, pretended to care. But what they did, behind your back, they ran their mouthed off about you. They mouthed off, they handed your information over like it was nothing. According to them, like you were a mad person, do you know what I mean? So they had to discredit you, they were trying to discredit you. So whatever you had figured out, the truth. So what have we got now? So we've got the tower. So that's a card of sudden upheaval, disaster, the walls falling right down. And that's exactly what these people were trying to do to you. They wanted to tear it all down. Your reputation, your relationships, your finance, everything, your health, your sense of self, your soul. Your soul, they wanted to everything tore right down to them so they could stand on top of you and make you that they're powerful, more, But this wasn't about any, this was only about control. And that there was a ringleader, but that's how they got their power. They like having power for making people feel small. That's the type of people. But they don't realise that, we've got a relationship with God, and it doesn't matter. And these people are not who they pretend to be. They maybe go to church, they'll post things on social media, say all the right words, but there could be something completely different behind closed doors. It could be calculating and willing to do things that most people wouldn't even think about doing. And these people studied you and watched everything, and gossiped, and used all your information against you to the people you loved and everything. They've been planning it for a long time. But they've been plotting against you longer than you realised. It could be years in the making, years and years, smiled in your face. And all the time they're building a case against you. Or try to collect little pieces of information to use against you. So when you were bettering yourself and going to college and everything, they didn't like that, So as long as you were still struggling, they were trying to keep you in survival mode. As long as you were still struggling, they couldn't take it, you see, so they wanted you still to be struggling. Well, didn't have anything, they were stagnant, So they decided to pull you back down by any means possible, any means at all, they decided to pull you back down. Because they didn't want you to be successful. And here we've got the moon. So you're getting rid of anxiety and fear, and you've been able to see through the chaos. But this is the message I think I'm needing to put out, and this is what you wanted to know what was happening, what went on, and that's what's in the cards. That's what's happened. So there's a bit more to reveal in this. Oh, so we've got the 8 of Wands as well. So a lot of conflict, but there was conversations going on behind your back that you had no idea about, a lot of conversations, text messages flying back and forth, you know. And it wasn't just one or two messages, it was a whole long campaign, you know. But you've got the moon card there. But they were committed to all this slander, you know, they were committed to pulling you down and tearing you down. And most of what they were saying about you was completely made up. They knew the truth was in your favour, but they wanted to destroy you, you know. So everything you said, your words, they twisted your words and your actions, they twisted it all to fit into a narrative that they wanted, you see. Twisted it all into a narrative that they wanted. And anything private that you shared, they turned it and twisted it into ammunition against you. They took your honest conversations and turned it into something completely different. So what makes... But this person smelled in your face, so they were playing both sides, they were playing on the opposite side as well. That's what they did behind your back. They were playing the opposite side behind your back. And they wanted to keep the drama alive, you see. So as long as they've got some sort of role to play in this, you know. So they felt powerful for doing that, you see. So that's why they kept the chaos going. And these people, they're not... these were people that's not got any real lives of their own, you know. And that's how they fill their void, is by gossiping and about people and clout chasers. Just like people to make them feel better about themselves, you know, because they're insecure themselves, you know, they're insecure individuals, and that's to make them feel better about themselves. They didn't care that the things they were saying weren't true. They didn't care. They didn't care. They just wanted to say, oh, I've heard this about, I've heard that, and that's why they wanted to smile on your face, you see. Yeah, I've heard this and I've heard that, oh, I've met her, or whatever. I've heard this and that about that person. So there was actually a lot of warfare happening against you. So here we've got the moon. So the moon confirms that there was a lot of hidden things happening that you actually couldn't see. They were hiding a lot of things. There was a lot of bad energy getting sent your way, and tension, like placing confusion on you, and that's what they were doing. And there were things happening to make you doubt yourself, you know, to make you feel like losing your mind and keep you in confusion. It was all part of illusion and deception, you see. Doing things in the dark, but there was so much hidden in the dark, and it's what these people were doing in the dark. So they were trying to get invest people to harm you as well, you know, and to harm a person and want to sacrifice. So she wanted to know what had went on, then that was it. Want to destroy your reputation, leave you in pieces. They were lined with dark energies, and but the one was doing all this orchestrating. They actually thought they had succeeded. They were saying, "Oh, we've done it. We took that person down. We took them down. We took her down. We took that person down, giving you the evil eye, thinking they were successful." But what they don't know is we've got something more. I've got something more powerful, and we've got something more powerful, and you've got something more powerful. We have ancestors, angels, and that fight battles for us. And I've got a light inside, and you've got a light inside you. So everything is sent your way lodges came back and then it'll get returned to sender, you know. Returned to sender, it didn't work. That's how it works, you see, it gets returned back to sender. So, I mean, but you just need to create a shield around yourself, you know, and protect her. But Aaron's look like they'd won. But they're in a really bad place at the moment. Their life is falling apart. So it's been returned back to sender, and they'll be the ones that's in regret. Okay, well, you wanted to know, and that's it. That's the answers in these cards.